Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here with another episode of the Dong Report. Of course, the Dong Report being where I give out my favorite home run picks of the day. The way I give these out and the format that I use is I deem 7 players that I deem to be on Dong Watch, and I play them on a round robin times 2. So I put a total units risk of 1.05 units on the total of these home run predictions. Now, as for yesterday, things didn't quite go our way. We did get one to mash, thank you to Rafael Devers, but unfortunately, because of the way we play these being a round robin, we were still down our full unit of 1.05. So we did not make any of our money back because Rafael Devers hit a home run. You live by the round robin, you die by the round robin. Your unit, your risk is a little bit limited because you're only risking a little over a unit a day, but you do need 2 or more to hit to turn a profit. And unfortunately, yesterday we only got 1. With that said, on the entire season, these round robins that I've been doing, these dong robins that I like to call them, they've been phenomenal. Up over 16 units on these dong robins. Yeah, yesterday wasn't our day. On Monday, we got 4 of our 7 guys to hit, and we were up 6 units on Monday alone. So these round robins have been absolutely on fire. They're just a little bit hit or miss, right? You get 3 or more, you're really profitable. You get at least 2, you're most likely profitable, but you get 0 or 1 and you don't make any of your money back. That's kind of how it works. So hopefully for today, we have another day like we had on Monday where we got 4, which was amazing. Would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. For this video, like and comment. And then I also, last thing I'll say before I get into the picks, is that I do have a platform called Duck Club where I send all of my plays out. It's only $5 a month, gets everything I'm playing sent directly to your phone. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link in the description of the video. But let's get into these dong picks. So I'm going to have 7 more today. And reminder, I play these as a round robin by 2. Number 1, I'm taking Yordan Alvarez to hit a home run. He's my first play for this one. So Yordan, he's only hit 1 home run since the MLB returned from the All-Star break, so since July 19th. But his stats have been really, really good almost across the board. So I know I've said this a couple times. I've been burned by him every time I played him since the All-Star break, but if he keeps hitting the ball the way he has, I'm very confident he's going to start to hit home runs. Since the All-Star break, he's hitting .325 with a .550 slugging, a .407 WOBA, and a .950 OPS. Those are very, very good numbers. Not everybody is stat nerd heavy like I am with the MLB. Those are really good numbers. That's all you need to know. His barrel rate, 15.6%. His hard hit rate, 53.1%. Those would both, that'd be like a top 10 barrel rate and a top 15 hard hit rate if you just extrapolated that out to the entire season. Now, he hasn't had an extra base hit in exactly a week. His last extra base hit was July 24th, but he has a combined 4 hits in his last 4 games. He's got at least 1 hard hit in each of his last 4 games as well. So he's still hitting the ball decently well. And as for the pitching matchup today, going up against a pitcher that he should just absolutely annihilate. He's going up against Jake Woodford. And admittedly, this is a small sample size. He's only pitched 8 innings this year, but he's got crushed in those 8 innings. And then last year, I mean, every time he's pitched in the MLB, he's gotten crushed. So yeah, it's a small sample size for this year, but everything we've seen about Jake Woodford in the MLB is him getting crushed. And his pitch mix lines up perfectly for Yordan. His most common pitch thrown is a sinker. Yordan crushes sinkers, ISO rate over 30% against sinkers. So I'm pretty confident that Yordan is finally going to come through for us after missing him for the past couple days, past couple games that we've had him. Next up, I have 2 players on the Braves, Marcell Ozuna and Austin Riley. I'm taking both of them. Now, this is your daily reminder that whenever I play these round robins, if there's ever a situation where there are 2 guys on the same team or even 2 guys playing in the same game, that needs to be placed as a completely separate same game parlay. Now, this is the only example of that. So you're going to end up having 2 bets placed. You're going to go put all 7 of these guys in a round robin, play them by 2. That should be a total of 20 bets. Then you need to place a 2-leg same game parlay of Marcell Ozuna and Austin Riley to hit a home run, making up your 21st bets. There should be 21 total bets placed for a total units risk of 1.05. So to also put that, it's 0.05 units on each individual parlay. That's how these round robins work. And last thing I'll say before I actually get into the analysis here is if any of that confuses you, which I'm sure it does, I posted a video yesterday answering that exact question. So before you comment asking any questions, check out the round robin video that I posted literally yesterday where I explain exactly how to place these bets on FanDuel. Now back to the actual matchup. These are This matchup here in the Milwaukee game in the Brewer Stadium in Milwaukee is what I'm trying to say. One of the best home run games of the day, strictly from a weather perspective in Milwaukee. Ballpark Pal, our friends over there, has this as a plus 20 home run difference over average, meaning like if you take the average weather, average stadium, this is a 20% a positive difference above what is considered average. That's really good. And I also like fading the Brewers pitcher Freddie Peralta. He's got decent stuff, like his stuff plus isn't terrible, but he's not really anybody that I'm scared of. And both of these two Braves hitters have a really good pitch mix against him. That's why I like backing both of them. He throws a fastball 54% of the time, followed by a slider and changeup. That rounds out 95% of the pitches that he throws. Both Marcell Ozuna and Austin Riley mash these pitches. And then looking at Riley himself, he's been red hot at the plate. It hasn't quite come in the form of home runs, but he's been hitting the ball really hard. He's been seeing the ball really well at the plate. So pretty confident that the home runs are going to start to come for him. Next up, I'm taking Brandon Lowe, player for the Rays, to hit a home run. And I love this. I write articles for Newsweek, and I limit it to 3 home run props in those articles. This will make one of my 3. I love this play on Brandon Lowe. He's going up against one of the worst home run pitchers in baseball, a very much a dong ball pitcher, which is what we lovingly like to call them. I'm talking about Roddery Munoz of the Marlins. Now, Munoz had a 3-game stretch where it looked like, oh, maybe he is turning the corner. Maybe he's not going to be one of the worst home run pitchers in all of baseball. Well, he didn't allow a home run in those 3 starts. Well, his last start against the Orioles, he gave up 3 home runs. Yeah, the Orioles are good for sure, but allowing home runs has been an issue for Munoz all year. And those 3 starts where he didn't give up a home run, that's more of a blip than anything. Like, you look at the entire season, he's thrown 61 innings. And if you look at a sample size of all pitchers that have thrown 60 or more innings, he has the worst home run per 9 by far. A grossly terrible home run per 9 of 2.66. That's the worst in the MLB of every single pitcher that has thrown at least 60 innings. And he's also significantly, capital S, capital ignificantly worse against left-handed hitters. He's seen 20 fewer at-bats against lefties, but 12 of his 18 home runs have also come to lefties. So in 20 fewer at-bats, 12 home runs against lefties, only 6 home runs against righties. It's a pretty brutal matchup that he has. And Brandon Lowe, he's been awesome all year. He's been awesome recently. And while he hasn't hit a home run in his last 4 games, granted, that's not like a terrible stretch. He has 4 doubles in that stretch, just no home runs. So he's hitting the ball hard. Today, that ball goes hard, goes out of the stadium, mashing our 4th home run. We have 3 more. Next up, I'm taking Nick Castellanos to hit a home run. Nick, I'll admit, Castellanos is not my type of player. His chase rate is terrible. And as a Phillies fan, if you couldn't tell, he is incredibly frustrating to watch. This is the type of matchup where I'm not going to pull my teeth out, pull my hair out watching Nick Castellanos play baseball. His chase rate is a lot worse against righties because they throw a slider that starts in the middle and then it slides out of the plate, and he will swing at it 100% of the time. It's a 100% hit rate of him swinging at pitches outside of the plate. That's not the case. It's not going to matter tonight because he's going up against a left-handed pitcher, and specifically a left-handed pitcher who stinks in Nestor Cortes Jr. Now, I always mix up Nestor Cortes and Carlos Rodon because they're like the same guy. I made sure that I looked up the stats for Nestor Cortes and then I didn't mix it up. But number 1, Castellanos is much better against lefties. Number 2, Nestor Cortes is the lefty pitcher who stinks, but he's really bad at home. I generally don't put a ton into home road splits because I think that can be more noise than anything. When they are this dramatic, I give a little bit of credence to them. His average allowed, like what is the batting average that he allows? At home, it's 207. Pretty good. On the road, 313. That's terrible. His slugging allowed goes from 347 at home to 548 on the road. WOBA goes from 253 to 388. His hard hit rate increases 12% going from at home to the road. 25.7% hard hit rate at home, 37.2% on the road. For whatever reason, he just gets annihilated when he's on the road. And now he's going up against a batter in Castellanos who annihilates left-handed pitching. His ISO rate on the year against lefties, 22.9%. Against righties, it's all the way down to 14.6%. Everything across the board for Casty is better against left-handed pitching. And he's the type of hitter, he's streaky, and he's not one of those guys that consistently crushes the ball. Even when he is on a hot streak, his hard hit rate, his barrel rate are not going to wow you, but he puts the ball in the air, and against left-handed pitchers, he can do enough to get the ball out of the ballpark. And this is another really positive weather game. So not my type of player, but I do like backing Castellanos tonight. Next up, second to last pick, I'm taking Ketel Marte to hit a home run. We had him yesterday, and he didn't come through for us, but that's okay because he's got another great matchup today. And yesterday, you can kind of excuse him not hitting a home run. He only had 3 plate appearances, and he had 2 hard hits in those 3 plate appearances, but he got taken out early because the Diamondbacks were up like 11-0 in the blink of an eye. The third inning, basically, the Diamondbacks were up 11-0, so they took him out, which was a bummer, but he has a really good chance to make it back up to us today. He's going up against a left-handed pitcher. He crushes lefties, even more so. The splits are way, way more dramatic for him than they are against a guy like Castellanos, who I just talked about. So Ketel Marte has seen 120 fewer at-bats against left-handed pitching, meaning he's seen 120 more right-handed pitchers in terms of at-bats. 14 of his 24 home runs have come against lefties. So 14 home runs and 120 fewer at-bats against lefties to 10 home runs and 120 more at-bats against righties. It's crazy how much better he is against lefties. ISO rate, 33.6% against left-handed pitching. That would be like the best ISO rate outside of Aaron Judge in the MLB. Now, he's going up against Mackenzie Gore of the Nationals. Now, Gore is a good pitcher. I will give him that. He's a good pitcher, but his pitch mix lines up perfectly with the pitches that Marte crushes. Gore throws a fastball 55% of the time, a curveball 19% of the time, and a slider 16.6% of the time, making up over 90% of his pitching arsenal. Marte has an ISO rate 25% and above against all 3 of those pitches. 25.6% against four-seam fastballs, a ridiculous ISO rate of 130% against curveballs. Now that sounds crazy. How do you have an ISO rate of 130%? Well, he's only seen literally 98 pitches. Only 98 pitches have been curveballs, not even at bats, pitches. 4 of them have been home runs with 1 double. He's hitting 600 against curveballs, which is really good. And then against sliders, he's got an ISO rate of 25.9%. So really there's nothing Mackenzie Gore can do to hide against Ketel Marte except from pitch around him, which I don't think he's going to do. So hopefully Marte mashes one coming through for us. And then lastly, our 7th and final player on Dong Watch today, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm taking him to hit a home run. He's probably been one of, if not the hottest hitter in baseball since the MLB returned from the break. He's got a combined 23 hard hits in 12 days, because MLB returned on July 19th. That ties him with 4 other batters for the second most hard hits in the MLB in that span. He's only behind Juan Soto, who keeps crushing the ball but not hitting home runs. That's a different conversation. But with that said, he's hit 7 home runs, tying him with the most in that stretch, and he has the second best ISO rate in this span as well. Barrel rate, 25.6%. That's really good. Average exit velocity, 96.7 miles per hour. That's really good. He's been on fire, and he should be able to stay on fire going up against Grayson Rodriguez of the Orioles. In his last 6 at-bats against Rodriguez, which was 3 this year, 3 last year, he's got a total of 4 hits with 1 home run. And that home run did come earlier this year at the beginning of June when these two faced up against each other. But that's 4 of 6 in his last 6 at-bats. Now, there is a concern taking a right-handed hitter at Orioles Park because they have that ridiculously, stupidly deep left field. But with Guerrero, he has a pull rate in this stretch. So I'm looking at a stretch in which he's been among the hottest hitters in baseball. He's only got a pull rate of 35.9%, which is a pretty low pull rate. So to hit all these home runs, he's not necessarily pulling it, which means that deep left field might not matter for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And just look at Monday. These two had a double header, so they played 2 games against each other. He hit a home run in both games in Orioles' home stadium at Camden Yards. So hopefully he stays hot against Rodriguez. Hopefully he stays hot in general. Hopefully he stays hot at Orioles Park. And he hits one for us. And that is all we got. 7 players. All we need is 2 of them to hit a home run, and we will at least be profitable for the day. And if we get more than 2, we will be very profitable for the day. And if we get 4, we'll be up 6 units like we were on Monday. So let's hope for that. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the Dub Club if you're interested, and have a good one.